Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we are going to be doing an unboxing video of a game that I have been waiting for about a year and a half now, and a little bit of extra time there with the actual domestic shipping, but we're not here to talk about that. Today we are here to open up the box for this right here, Masters of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia by CMON and Mattel Games. So that's right. We are going to be doing a unboxing here of Clash for Eternia on its own. We did a poll on the channel page, kind of asking like best way to present the information, not just specifically for this game, but again, a game that has a lot of add-ons. I've seen a lot of other unboxings for this game, and they usually last like a couple hours combined in some cases. So instead of just having one video with everything and trying to do this timestamps, I figure, you know what, I'm just going to separate at least the main game and probably the box of power. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the expansions yet, as well as the other stuff. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this one right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the box right here. So we have Masters of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia, a game by Michael Chenal and Leo Almeida. Hopefully I said those names right. It's going to be by CMON. We got Mattel Games right here, and it is part of their power system. The artwork on the side is basically just He-Man and Skeletor's faces. I was going to show one side right there. That's basically what all three sides look like. And then on the back, we are going to have the back of the box showing all the different artwork. I'm going to have it flipped over here a little bit so I can actually read it with all the light glare. Says, Masters of the Universe, the board game. In the struggle for Eternia, the forces of evil strive to conquer the land, while the forces of good vow to defend it, wield the power as He-Man and the heroic warriors, or seize it as the evil warriors to conquer Eternia. Master unique skills to develop your warrior and fight for the fate of the universe. Oh my gosh, it is like the show, or toys. Master of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia is a competitive one versus many, or fully cooperative, action-driven board game. Choose to play as the heroic or evil warriors, use unique abilities on the battlefield, upgrade skills, and by the power of Grayskull, win the fight for Eternia. So here are all the various figures. Here are all the various components. It is a game for 1 to 5 players. It takes possibly an hour for a scenario to run through, and to defend Eternia, you must be 14 years old or older. So there is all of that right there. So let's go ahead, take our knife out, and start opening this. Now, if you watched our mail call video, you already know that one, I'm old, and two, like I said, I grew up with this show as a thing for me. I wasn't, the show came out, or the toy line came out before I was born. The show came out, I think, the same year I was born. So it was always around. When I was a kid, it was in the syndication. Used to watch it in reruns. Had my own He-Man power sword that was literally held together by duct tape. It had like, it was like the gray side, and then also had a yellow side on the other side. So it wasn't even like Skeletor and He-Man's, where it was like one had the blue, the purple sword, um, one had the gray sword. But anyway, that's what I had. Had various figures and everything. So like I said, I grew up with He-Man, watching He-Man. Love the 1980s movie. Watched it so many times I wore off the tape. Already said that in the other video. Here's the plastic. Throw. There we go. So this is the box. It is very nice and shiny around the edges and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and take a look, not in a book, but in the box, and there is free content in the game. I have no idea what the free content is, but there is a QR code for free content. We are so amateur around here that my phone is currently up there filming the top camera, so I can't scan the content right now, but I'll scan it later. Most likely it's probably a link to the rulebook. I don't know if there's any extra scenarios or anything like that in the game yet for this, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. So you got two different things. You got the rule book and the scenario book. Now, there is, I think in the expansion, there's limited scenarios in some of the, I think, specific to Castle Grayskull, and I think there's a specific in the Snake Mountain box with the Snake Men. There's specific scenarios in that one, but I think the other boxes, they basically just realized that a lot of scenarios work for different NPCs. It didn't matter like, which NPCs. So they actually made the scenario book in this main game a little more robust, but then took the scenarios out of some of the other content. So there's that. So here we have the rule book for Clash for Eternia. It is regular American and British American, apparently, or British English. That's what I meant to say. There are the chapters for the table of contents right there. Again, the QR code for free content. Here are all the game components, which we'll look at in a minute. The introduction, talking about the power system there, character components, the game board itself, the different kinds of terrain, and then the tracker boards there, the way you set up the game, order phase, round overview, all that kind of stuff, activation phase, character activation, strategery over there, skill and power, skills, the balance of power, we got that, controller skills, controller strategy cards. So this game does have they said they want say one versus many or cooperative, so you can actually play. One person will play as the controller, which can either be good or bad depending on the scenario and how you're doing the scenario, or the other characters play as just the regular players, controlling one character per player, I believe, or so, depending on the scenario. But then you also have, I guess, the AI mode where the many are going against the board without having an actual controller character. So we'll see how that goes when we play. If it's me, James, and Jake, might go against the AI first, or we might do it to where one of us is playing as the controller to see how that runs. So, like I said, these are all just different things of the game, talking about different scenarios, character AI cards, so going over the player versus AI mode right there that we already talked about. Glossary of terms, yet more AI stuff there. So that is going to be in the summary, order phase, all that stuff. So that is going to be that book. We'll kind of glance at this one. Let's see, artifacts of power, the relics. So these are going to be what the different scenarios look like. I think there's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep, 20. So I think they increased it from 10 to 20 when they moved the other scenarios from the other books. Like I said, there's going to be also the scenario or scenarios in the Grayskull box, and like I said, the Snakeman, Wrath of the Snake Mountain box has, I think, scenarios in there because of the T-Rex that comes specifically with that one. So there's that. I don't want to spoil too much. Let's see if there's anything else in this. Nope. Anyway, so that's going to be the scenario book for the game. They do separate it out, unlike a Zombicide game where that one will have everything in the one book. So we're going to take a look at the game board. Mine a little dented? Nope, mine's not a little dented. All right, so we're going to move this over here and see if we can spread this out and show it. You would think I would know how to make a game board. All right. So there is that. That is the scale we're going to be looking at during a game. Now, there are some things that go over, I think, on this side of the board that will... So let's go ahead. We're actually going to flip this around because the box is going to be in my way if not. So that is the game board, Masters Universe Clash Returning over on that side. I like the board. Now, it does look a little plain in the middle, but you are going to be putting different terrain tiles and whatnot onto the board here, whether or not you're using the cardboard terrain tiles here or you're using the... I think you can see one box right here. That is going to be the plastic terrain. The other ones are back here. I don't know if you can see them, but they're right there. So that's where all my terrain is right now. So anyway, other things we have in the box. We have all the various tokens, punch tokens, all that kind of stuff right there of different characters. I'm assuming the MP... Where are we at? NPCs right down here. So Cringer, Prince Adam, King Randor, Queen Marlena. Let's see, a few different Prince Adams right there. I'm not sure exactly what those are for. Most likely a different scenario, different things there, and then all the other characters right there. So next we've got, yes, this is the other player board right here for various things. So that would go right there. So this more likely is what your board is going to look like. And I know this right here, we're going to put this over here somewhere. Technical difficulties, sorry about that. I'm going to move the box right there so we can keep continuing to see it. So yeah, that is going to be that controller board. I know the playmat is basically this entire thing. So utilizing this piece right here and this piece of these two boards will combine together. So we got to take out our first plastic insert and place it somewhere. And then these are going to be various terrain tiles, I believe. Yes, so there's the flowers, there's these are the ruins, these are rocks right here. Different water tiles there, these aren't plant tiles, these are like from the nature scenes and stuff like that. Is this triple? Nope, this is just two boards. That's what's on those two boards. So there are those scenario pieces right there. Then we've also got, I'm assuming this is the controller board right here. So that's the plastic controller board. Oh, there we go. Right there. I do notice that CMON does put these little like dents in here, so that way if you want to get the stuff out, you can just go pop it there and like pull it out. So I like that. Right there, so that's that. And then here are your actual boards right there. So enough spots for the power right there on the sides there for your cubes and whatnot. Cubes are right here, so I'm assuming you're going to place these cubes like so on the board like that, or like that for different things on that board. And I like how instead of using just like a cardboard piece, it actually is a plastic tray that has some depth to it, so that way these things don't fall out. And that is kind of right there what those cubes are going to look like. So there is that. And there's that. I'm loving all the noise I'm making here. All right, so next we have some dice. So these are the only dice in the game here. So they're going to have various symbols, not like a regular D6, but looks like there's Castle Grayskull there, some kind of a targeting symbol there, Sword of Power there, and I think that is the main symbol on those dice. And one of the things I wanted to show, again, I'm not sure why I only had one pack, but I could probably put these in here. But I'm going to go ahead and show the dice pack that came with these dice, so you can kind of see the difference between the two there. So yeah, there's that, and there's the dice. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I wish this were sealable. Sorry, I had a little frog in my throat there. But that's pretty cool. We got extra dice as well. Looks like I definitely should have bought two of these packs to be even with this, but live and learn. So there's that, and then we've got a couple different size cards. So one of the things I wanted to point out here is, so not all these wells were filled, because you got these here that were like that. These dice, no wait, I'm sorry. Oh, these dice were in here somewhere. The dice were in here. The cubes were here. We got all these different cards here for, let's see, controller for different things. For that, will those fit in there? Yes, they will. So you can probably split these cards between the two different um, packages there, the two different wells there. One of the things I like and don't like about CMON is the CMON has pretty good inserts. I just wish sometimes they would think a little bit more about people who sleeve their cards, because this well could be deeper, but it stops right there. It's perfect fit for that, but not for basically doing anything else with it. Same with this. It got this big giant well for something. They're most likely various terrain tiles once you start punching them out, but not enough room for the cards themselves. So there is that one little downfall. But other than that, yeah, I don't know what I want to go through first. I'm actually a little torn. Let's see. We'll start looking at cards first. We'll look at the regular size cards, since there's not as many. There we go. And seriously. All right. All right. There's the player card. So they're player aid cards right there, which are always nice to give the players uh, a little bit of guidance with that. Let them know what they can and cannot do on their turns. Let's see, player aid, and only the 5-player aid. So there's nothing in here specifically about the controller, unless that's part of this. What you do there. So anyway, player aid cards. Character activation cards. So, like I said, there's the backs are a little bit plain on these. I will say that. So it just says this is terrain, and then it gives a little bit of detail in there about what the terrain does. So for ruins, can only be entered or exited through entrance space. Line of sight cannot be traced into or out of except through the entrance spaces. So there is a little bit of the card as to what those do. So there's the terrain cards, basically just using the artwork from the tiles themselves. There's a lake. So that's that. So we got our terrain cards, and then we've got our NPC cards. So there's an NPC right there. There's Cringer. It's very accurate to a lot of things. So I know a lot of this game is based on the toy line. Hence why I'm pretty sure. Hence why like Shira, when we get to her, why she doesn't look anything like the show. She definitely looks like the toy. And a lot of the lore of what's going on in this game is, I think, from the lore of the toy line, not as much from the show itself. The rights on this were really weird. They couldn't even sell this particular game in Europe. Another company was selling a game. I feel like it was on GameFound. It may not have been, but no, I don't think it was. But they were playing another game, Fields of Eternia, was being offered around the same time that this one was, and that game, if I remember correctly, couldn't be sold in America because of the rights issues going on with that. So, very strange what was going on with that game. There's the card for Queen Marlena right there. So that's kind of how some of the artwork looks in here. And then let's see, we have the different minion cards. So elite minion and minion. So there are the two elite minions for the Eternians, or the good side, or the heroic side, whichever one you want to call it. And then there is the ones for Skeletor's forces. That's definitely more of a Hordak robot right there. I know Skeletor in both the comics and the um, show, they were definitely joined together. So let's see, we've got the AI rules right here, double-sided card there. So that actually ever there we go. Double-sided card there. So there's that, and then different activation strategy cards for the AI, it looks like, and then character activation cards for the AI. See, it says AI in the bottom of the card right there. So that is all of this size card, at least the ones I have. I think it is. So we're going to put these back in the box. So there goes that. And then next we're going to look at these cards. We'll look at the small, tiny cards. You can kind of see where they're different there. Man. Late night unboxings are always fun. Ooh, there we go. All right, so let's go with the first. Let's see if I can separate these out. So these are different. Let's see, which kind of cards are these? Sorry, I'm brain farting here. It is actually really late while I'm doing this, so forgive me. I always forget to get my rule book out to tell me exactly what the components are. Those aren't the activation cards, the double-sided skill cards. That's what those are. So this is an example of a double-sided skill card right here. So there's for Man-at-Arms, and there's the other side. And we'll go into what all these different skills do when we actually are playing the game. There's some stuff for He-Man right there. And there's the other side right there. So, like I said, different cards for the different characters in this particular box. So there is that. Let's do another. Let's take a look at Skeletor stuff here. There's his Havoc Blast there. And there's his other side of Havoc Jolt there. So there's all the villains of the game. So there are those piles right there. These are, what are these? Cards right here, the strategy cards. So there's an example of the artwork on the back of a strategy card. And then the other side right there. So, like I said, kind of going through all these cards. I don't know. I think they're in the box of power. I was looking for something specific, but it's in the box of power. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. What are these other cards called? These are controller. These are the controller cards? Yeah, I believe these are controller cards. Nope. Where are you? These are the controller cards, I think, for either side. So you have one side right there. And then the other side right. Oh, come on. There. So there is that. And then which one are these? Activation cards. So there's just like He-Man's 3 activation cards that all look like He-Man. It's a little bit like that Prince Adam guy. I can't figure out why though. But there's an example of those cards, and that's basically the rest of the deck. Random strategy card that just a random card that just said strategy on one side and controller on the other side. So no idea what that means. Yeah. We'll find out when I start playing this game. So there is all those cards. Those are all the little mini cards that you get in the game. So put all these back in the box, and we'll get to the main cards. It looks like right here. We're getting through it, guys. Don't worry. This is another reason why I want to do separate videos a little bit, is because I know I ramble in these videos. And I don't want to have you ramble for multiple hours at a time. Currently, my time right now on this is 27 minutes. I did have a couple false starts that I cut out. So, so there's an example of, let's see, He-Man. It says He-Man AI character right there. And then there's the other side right there. So is it regular character and AI character? AI characters. Yep. These would be the AI versions of the character right there, and then the regular version for the players is going to be that right there, and then the other side of his card there for the player. So there is an AI version and a player version. They do try as much as they can to make the cards look different enough where you can tell them apart and what they are supposed to be. Even this side kind of is set up like that. So, like I said, they do pretty good job of setting up these cards and everything. There's Stratos. The only thing I want to bring up with Stratos here is that every time I go into Target and I see this figure that with their like new classics ish line that they've got going on, he's always very very like they basically just like took He-Man's body and put Stratos' head on it instead of making him like gray like he is in this card and how I remember the old figure being. For some reason, he's like flesh tone. I have no idea why. So that's just odd to me. But yeah, this is all of the cards in the game here. Put that back there. Put that right there. So this is a game, as I always say, from Cool Mini or Not. So we are going to take a look at the Cool Minis. So let's see here. So tells us on one side here that we've got these are all top tray. That's what it is. Top tray is all the minion figures, and the bottom tray is going to be all the bases and all the actual characters that you care about. So there is, and also that free content is right back there. It's right there's the free content for the game. So let's go ahead and let's open her up. Come on, there we go. Let's see. Not be too rough with this. Alrighty, then here are our minions. Well, we'll go ahead and do the minions first. And so special character wise, the heroic characters get these guys right here. And then Skeletor gets these things right here. I don't for some reason think this is fair. I don't think it's fair. I think this is going to hurt this other guy. So, but anyway, that is, like I said, the scale for these, I think they're Shadow Beasts right there. So, there's that. And there's the little not Hordak robot right there. Oh, come on. Focus. Oh, yes. Focus. Oh, there we go. There is that little guy right there. And then the other type of Eternian soldier there. So I like this. The sculpts are pretty nice. I do like the sculpt. I wish the heroic ones were not this like peachy flesh tone color. I don't know why, but I just wish these were a different color. The villains like being this gray plastic is nice, but the I gotta say the heroic ones don't really care for it. This is definitely a game that if I get time, I would love to paint just because I don't like the color of the actual figure. All right, so we'll go ahead. Here is He-Man. Come on. Maybe I'll show He-Man. Come on. Nope. Nope, not today. Oh, wait. There he goes. Woo. All right, it's not working with me with He-Man for some reason. There we go. That's the He-Man figure right there. looking pretty cool. And then we've got Skeletor there. I don't know why Skeletor wants to zoom in. So there he is, right there. The Havoc staff. So there's the scale between the two, right there. So there's that, and then He-Man on Battle Cat. This actually is a really nice sculpt right here. Pretty dynamic. I wish the regular He-Man would have a pose similar to this. I don't necessarily like. I get why he's got the power sword lifted over his head. I just wish it wasn't. I wish it was more of like a combat stance, like Tila is here. So, but whatever. So there's that, and I gotta say, there I don't think is a figure in here that I don't not like. I guess I like every single figure that's in here. Also, I'm also realizing there's not a figure in here that I didn't, as a young kid, own. I wish I knew what happened. I kind of do actually know what happened to most of my figures, but there is all the figures in the main tray right there, so we don't have to get each individual one out. But that is everything. I think, yep, everything in the main book for Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia, the board game, in some kind of order with that. So, yeah, that was this game right here. That's everything in the unboxing. I don't know when we're going to get this on the table to play. As of this filming, we are going to be doing a lot of Zombicide stuff for White Death. So the gameplay of this, unfortunately, will probably be, I don't want to say after that campaign, because we do have a lot of things planned for before that. But we'll see how this goes. I know this is trying to find the right mix, get everybody in knowing the rules and learning it before we actually film, unlike what we did with Undead or Alive. But there is a lot of that. One of the, well, no, not one of the things. But yeah, we will be, like I said, doing some content with this soon, so keep an eye on the channel. I will be doing more unboxings of the rest of the components in here in the filming in the days to come. I still don't know how I'm going to be putting it out, but when I do put it out, put all the content out, it will be pretty quick. I'm not going to stagger it over weeks or anything like that. It'll be probably one video right after the other with this, throwing it into a playlist. That way you just click on the playlist and watch each video. So that will be how that goes. But I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into this unboxing video. If you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I think it's down here somewhere, over here, somewhere down here is that button. If you would like to push that, greatly appreciated. Hit that notification bell so you know when the rest of these videos are coming out, as well as any other content that we do on the channel. So yeah, thank you guys very much. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.